Father God, we kiss thy presence in the temple, for your love has been better than life. That is why we love you so, more than life to me.
As a man of God, an artist, and an entrepreneur, Kirk Franklin has taken gospel music to a different level. Let's meet the man who was single-handedly revolutionized music. Born on January 26, 1970 in Riverside, Texas, Kirk Franklin didn't have an easy childhood. He never knew his father, and his mother abandoned him when he was just an infant. When he was 13, he even overheard his mother saying that she had wanted to abort him. Luckily, that didn't happen, and his loving and deeply religious Aunt Gertrude took him in. He became known as Gertrude's boy, but he called his 64-year-old aunt Mama. She was responsible for the man he is today. She introduced him to the church and to music. She took a little man to a Baptist church religiously during his early years. Gertrude also brought music early on into Franklin's life. She paid for his piano lessons by collecting aluminum cans and selling them when Franklin was only 4 years old. Franklin told Mama that he wanted to be a preacher after watching TV when he was just 4 years old. He saw a rerun of the I Have a Dream speech by Martin Luther King Jr., and he knew that's exactly what he wanted to do. One day, his pastor called him to the pulpit to give the closing prayer. Franklin was offered a record contract when he was only 7, but his aunt turned down the offer. At the young age of 11, Franklin earned $100 a month directing the adult choirs in the Dallas-Fort Worth areas in Texas. Although it was evident that he was a musical prodigy, he was more interested in getting paychecks from the church than their actual sermons. But when he was a teenager, Franklin considered Gertrude's Baptist teachings to be too strict and overbearing. Like most teens, Franklin rebelled and landed himself in a lot of trouble. He got kicked out of school and spent some time in juvenile detention. He turned to drinking. He got a girl pregnant, and he just hung around with a dangerous crowd. It was so bad that he remembers thinking how there were so many times when he could have been shot or become addicted to drugs or alcohol.
Whatever happened, right?
In the midst of these struggles, no one told him that he was on the wrong path. He said there wasn't a lot of mentoring or accountability when he was growing up. He knew things were wrong, but it didn't matter because other people his age were doing the same things, including those in the church. But the 15-year-old was set straight after the tragic death of a good friend who was killed in an accidental shooting. Shortly thereafter, Franklin returned to the church and began composing songs. By the time Franklin was in his early 20s, he was well known in the music scene in Dallas.